Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this take 2 on episode 4 of the 200 horsepower challenge here on Comlands with me, Farmer Murphy. The reason for take 2 is I ran into some issues on the previous attempt. Now I could have kind of fixed things up, but because I hadn't done a game save, I thought it was just easier to come back to the beginning and start over, but I will explain what happened. Now, as you may recall, I said I was going to bring you back in when we accumulated enough funds to purchase that property we were looking at. Well, you can see we're at 32,000, so we're certainly not there. But I have not changed my mind on buying the property, but kind of how we're going to get there. So this silage you're looking at here in the clamp is the cutting that we did, or I did off camera after the one we did in the last episode. So the last episode one, obviously I sold. We were at 37,000 after the sale was completed, and you can see we have another 130,000 here of silage ready to be sold again. So, like I said, this would be the one after the one you saw time-wise. I think we were in August, I believe, and we're in October now. But what prompted me to change my mind was I came over here and looked, and we have 4,200 liters of manure and 6,400 liters of slurry. And I thought, you know what? Excuse me. I might as well sell those. And I looked, and there is no sell point on the map for those items. So I could have put a custom sell point in, but the only land we own, of course, is down here. I didn't want that. Just didn't want that down here, and so that prompted me to look for productions that maybe we could do something with those items. There is one that I have used in the past that I really like, but I said earlier that I was trying to use different productions and equipment if I could. And so when I went in, I found this guy right here, this production shed. Oh, and only $5,000, but it'll take and turn our manure and our slurry into solid fertilizer, which we'll eventually need for sure. But there is a sell point for solid fertilizer. So I went and stuck that in right here. Now I don't envision this being its permanent home, because it is only 5,000. I'd like to move it up top to that flat area, so that's why I wasn't as fussy about the landscaping. You see, it's not quite perfect, but good enough for now. And if we take a look at these recipes, you see we'll take manure and slurry together, 1,000 of each, and turn it into 2,000 of solid fertilizer. Then there are other combinations of things we can do as well, but it also makes seeds, which will be very handy. And we can produce lime as well, and we can make manure with straws and adding slurry or digestate, and also herbicide can be made here with water and road salt. So a pretty interesting little production. I'm glad I stumbled across it. Haven't used it before. Price was right. Nice little compact footprint. A win-win, I'd say. All right. So, the issue I ran into that caught me by surprise is when I came to sell the milk in the other episode. I had, if we go up here and we go to animals, I was going to use this little critter right here. Nice and cheap, 2,000 liters would have been a good little trailer for us, only $500, but it doesn't recognize the sell point trigger or vice versa. Not quite sure how that works, but it will not sell. And so then I tried, I think it's under here, it's another modded one, but I tried this modified Abbey one. It will not work either. The only ones I found that worked are the one that the map maker Sorry about that. The one the map maker put in, this one here, and the Omatana one. They did work. So just be warned that not all the trailers are going to work on that milk sell point. So I think what we're going to end up is we're going to go with this one here. Actually, let's just buy it right now. We will, I think, I want a kind of a darker green. Yeah, something like that will match our tractor. I know it's a bit of a frivolous spend, but heck, why not? So we'll buy that. So that's for our milk. And for our slurry, we are going to go right to the end here. I'm going to go with this guy. And the only thing I'm going to change here is I am going to change the rim color. So that's what we'll use to haul our slurry with. Oh yeah, I didn't care for those tires. Yep, good. So we'll buy that. So those are the two trailers. I have tested them. They do both work. So I won't have to go for take 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this silage sold. That will bring our money back up again. And then we'll hook onto those trailers and we'll sell some product and move some product around. The manure I'm just going to move with the bucket for now. So I'll get after that and get that done, and I'll bring you back in then. See you in a bit. Well, we're up at the shop to pick up our milk tanker so we can sell our milk. Milk is one product that I don't worry about when the best price is, because realistically you can't store it for any length of time, so I just sell it off. Now, I have turned traffic off because that's pretty much a blind corner there, and for recording, there's no real good way to get out there. It's kind of a chance thing, and I know you guys might enjoy a wreck, but I'd rather avoid it. I'll turn it back on when we get down to the farm. But anyways, our silage has all been sold. We're up to $71,035. Now we had a few hundred more than that, but I filled our tractor up and did some vehicle repairs, so that took care of that. I think we're going to need to invest in a pressure washer pretty soon. Our tractor's getting pretty filthy. Now, when I sold the silage again, there was a partial wagon load left in the bunker, and I threw that into our feed mixer so we can make a little more cattle feed. So the next cutting, I'll make a little bit of hay, and of course we'll have to buy some straw to go along with that. But we are going to buy some more cattle, so we need some more feed. Kind of how it goes. Well, that should be good, I would think. Yes, sir. There we are. So 4,100 liters. You guys may or may not hear the phone ring. Forgot to put it on silent when I was recording, so I'll edit out as much of it as I can. But of course, I think it started when I was still talking. Figures. If you guys haven't guessed, my last name's Murphy, and I'm sure you've all heard of Murphy's Law. Well, I think when I was born, Murphy's Law may have been about 25 pages of stuff, but little leprechauns following me around during my lifetime, I'm sure it's up to about 50 pages now. I'm sure they go, I didn't see that coming. I tell you, I've got some good stories for parties, let me tell you. Anyways, cattle. So I want to buy some more cows, and originally I was planning on buying the fully mature cows here, but I did want to make sure our herd age was dispersed. And of course, as luck would have it, guess what age our cows are? Exactly 18 months. So we're going to buy 5 of these. I guess you would call them heifers. Oops. Now, of course, right now we have to have them delivered. We can't pick them up because we don't have a trailer. So we've got to pay the delivery fee. So we'll run up the hill and get this milk sold, and I'll do that hill climb off camera, so you won't have to endure that. And I'll meet you up top, and we'll see what we get for this milk. So we'll see you there. Now, as you can see, we're back up at the shop area. We'll just pull around here. The sell point's just on the other side of this building directly ahead of us. Still have the zone markers on, so I know where everything is. Probably turn them off once I get kind of familiar with things. Now, let's hope this trigger comes up. Yes, it does. Well, there we go. And that took us up to 70,976. So basically, just about paid for our cows, just 1,000 short. I'm pretty happy with that. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a trailer swap, and I'll leave the milk trailer up here, and we'll grab the slurry tanker, and we'll get that slurry moved. So I'll just meet you back down at the farm when I get all that organized. So we'll see you there. Well, we're back down at our farm. Let's fill up our tanker here. Now we'll need to make a couple trips, but they're not too arduous here, just across the yard. I think we can deal with that. Now I am going to make this a proper yard and put down some gravel, but right now I'm scrambling for every blade of grass I can find, so we'll probably wait until we have the money to buy our next plot of land before I do that. Now that'll probably leave a little slurry in there, but this will be more than enough for now. Now let's just park this over here for the time being, and we'll get the production turned on. That's the one we want there. Okay, I think that'll actually process pretty quickly. So, and I think we have enough time left in this episode that what I'll do is I will jump ahead, and we will come back in and sell that just to see what we get for that fertilizer. And that's where we'll leave the episode, and we'll pick it up from there on the next one. So I'll see you probably tomorrow in game here, and we'll see what we've got. Well, it is the next day, or because we're on 1 day months, the next month, and our fertilizer should be done here. Yes, it is. Probably can go and turn that off. Okay, so we can go and sell that, but first we need a trailer. And I was looking, and I think I've settled on this one right here. It's pretty much the best bang for our buck right now, and we'll certainly want to upgrade it at some point, or maybe we'll just keep it for feeding the cows, but we're going to go ahead and buy that. It is pretty pricey, but don't want to take the fertilizer up to the sell point in the bucket. So I'll run up to the shop and pick that up, and I'll meet you back down here. So see you in a little bit. Well, we're just pulling into our yard here. You know, I was thinking on the way back down here, I'll bet you our tractor couldn't handle much more than this trailer loaded with fertilizer. I think fertilizer is fairly heavy. Oh, I see. There it is. So I'll keep you guys on board. We'll see how it makes out on this hill. It'll be a good test if we can even use a bigger trailer. I might be wrong, but I know lime is heavy, but I thought fertilizer is fairly heavy too. Oh no, looks like it's started. Well, maybe I started to speak too soon. A little better than pulling that silage wagon up here loaded. Not so bad. Pretty much the ideal size, I'd say. If you got a bigger trailer but had to crawl up the hill, you wouldn't be gaining anything. Now I have not tested this trailer at all, so this is live testing to make sure it'll work at the sell point. I have already sussed out the sell point though. It should be this one right here. So hopefully all goes well. Oh, now that's not too good. Yeah, let's double check. Solid fertilizer should be here. Tag to place. That's exactly where we are. Wow. Oh, goodness. All right. Okie dokie then. Well, let me work on this and I'll get back to you. Well, what we have here, folks, is a failure to pay attention. If we take a look here and look at solid fertilizer, this is actually a sell point. Now, of course, when I came up here or was first looking at it, the production shed wasn't in. So I just saw a price. I didn't really pay attention to what column it was in. So this is a spot where we can buy fertilizer. We can't sell it here. So that means there is no sell point. But also if you look, it says that there is a price on our production shed. And I already looked, and what we can do is we can put this on selling. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run this back down there, throw it in back in the shed, and then we'll see if it sells that way. And if it does, if we actually get that $3,000, because if we do, now that might be considered a little bit cheap. I mean, then we could make a fortune just by coming up here. Oh shoot, I got traffic back on. Can I make it out here? As I was saying, we could come up here, buy fertilizer for $1,500 and sell it for, well, $3. You wouldn't get the $3 anyways on selling. There's going to be at least a 20% cut. But what I'll do here is once I put this in, I'll do a game save, and then we can get back to this point if we have to. So, oh, fun and games. Can't blame that one on Murphy's Law. We have to blame that one on Murphy not paying attention. That's another whole set of rules for calamities. But one thing if it does sell and does sell for that kind of money, one thing we can consider is the rules were to be playing on easy economy. which means we'd be getting a lot more for our silage. So if we do this, because we're playing on normal, might even things out a little bit. Also would mean that we really wouldn't have needed this trailer, but we'll just hang on to it. That'll be a penalty for not paying attention. Now I would assume we can throw this back in here. Oh yeah. That must have been on green door. Alright, so I'm going to do a game save here. We'll jump time ahead an hour and we'll see what happens. So see you in an hour. Well, there we have. We've ticked over the hour, and you can see our money went from what was it, 60,293. We're at now 83,932. I did a quick bit of math on that. That means we're getting a little over $2,700 per thousand. That is a pretty sweet price. So it seems like we fell in the poop pit and came out smelling like a rose on that one. That was good luck, not good planning. At this point, I think I'm going to keep that. Like I say, we're playing normal economy, not easy. So that kind of makes up for that. And it'll also mean that we can keep things ticking along. We won't have to go through so many grass cycles in order to, you know, move up to another plot of land and do some different things. So if anybody has any real heartburn with that, they can leave it in the comments. But otherwise, that's what my plan is, just to go ahead and sell it internally. Of course, at some point, we'll need to use some of that ourselves. But anyways, on that note, I think I'm going to leave this episode there before I do any more damage. So I'll bring you back in once the next cutting is done, and probably I will go ahead and sell the next bunker load of silage off camera. By that time, we'll have more manure and slurry to process. So I think that's where I'll bring you in once that processing portion is done, and we'll see where we're at money wise, and if we happen to have enough to buy that next plot of land. So I will see you at that point. So if you're still with me, really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that old like and subscribe button, and don't forget about that old notification bell if you want to see when other content like this lands. I can't imagine you'd want to miss any of this. Anyways, for this episode, it's Farmer Murphy signing off here from Comlands.